Hey folks, Matt from Art of the Image, continuing on with our information on the new Olympus E-PL2. I'm quite intrigued with this little camera, actually thinking about maybe it might be my first 4/3 camera. Haven't owned one or shot with one yet, but quite interested. One of the fellows online that I like to read a lot is Kirk, the Visual Science Lab, and if you check out his blog, he has some ongoing reviews. He's one of the first reviewers to get an E-PL2. I've got a post here from him, his first impressions with the E-PL2. He titles the post, "And so it begins, my first impressions about the E-PL2." So basically, he's a big fan of Olympus cameras, specifically the pen cameras. Really likes the small format, the small size. He thinks they're a great street camera, likes to get out with them, unobtrusive, nowhere near the size of a DSLR, a full-size DSLR, and he likes to be able to pocket them and get out and take photos that he might not otherwise be able to get because of the obtrusiveness or the visibility of a large DSLR. He says, why am I so interested in the E-PL2? Because I've shot the EP2 for a year and the E-PL1 for almost a year and find them to be wonderful art cameras. The kind of non-threatening street shooting camera that will give you good results under most conditions and give the option of using an incredible range of legacy lenses. So he likes to use them for his art cameras. Again, he's getting to the point there of being able to get out unobtrusively and take photos. He really likes them because there's a range of adapters available to use a whole slew of lenses, including lenses like the Nikon 50mm f1.2 AIS, which is a fantastic little lens at f1.2, is very fast and quite reasonably priced, around $600. You can still find them brand new. What else does he say about it here? Another thing about it is the Bluetooth device, the PP1. He's quite excited about that. Wants to see how it works with his laptops. He's got a couple of Macs he wants to try it out with. I'm curious to see and follow this on his website to see what he has to say about that. I'm really curious about that type of Bluetooth transmission device for images. I'll post Kirk's Visual Science Lab link in the links below so you can check them out and check out his article and his ongoing posts. He's a fantastic read, very prolific writer and very knowledgeable about photography. Has written quite a few books, quite an interesting character. He is trying the new 40-150 zoom lens as well. He was sent that to evaluate. He says it's incredibly light and should be silent enough to use in video mode, so he's hopeful for that. And let's see what else. His first impression of the overall system. He says, my first impression is how small and lightweight it is. Obviously, we would expect that out of a small 4/3 system like the E-PL2. He says even with the lens and the battery installed, it's very small and lightweight. He says it feels much lighter than the EP2, and he says he will be using his EVF2 electronic viewfinder with it. He really enjoys that with the Olympus pen cameras. He says the screen on the back is bigger, about 3 inches, and much higher resolution than the previous pens. It's about 460,000 dots. So it's not comparable to, say, a Nikon with a 900 and something thousand, or the new Canons with a similar resolution, but certainly a big improvement over previous pens which did not have that resolution. He likes the new wheel on the back. He thinks it'll be easier to change aperture and shutter speeds. Overall, he says it's not much bigger a package than a Canon G12 when you have the lens on the pen. So really, if you're already looking at using a G12 and you've got that in your pocket, not much bigger package to go to the new pen, the E-PL2, with the lens on it. And then you have a 4/3 sensor for much better image quality than a Canon G12 can deliver, or similar cameras to the Canon G12. Some of the reasons why he'd rather spend the extra cash on a pen, and he notes this as I mentioned a moment ago, the lens adapters and the various lenses you can get with this. The Canon 50mm f1.2, the Leica 35mm 1.4, and 8 or so Olympus original Pen FT manual focus mounts that he has. So you know, with a range of lenses like that, obviously a whole slew of options you wouldn't have with a camera like a Canon G12. And with this new E-PL2 coming in at $599 with a lens, very competitively priced against a pocket camera like a G12. He says he's very interested to see how the ISO is. He's thinking, based on what he's seen and read, clean up to 1600 ISO, but he says we'll see. So it'll be interesting to see what his follow-up is on that. And basically, other than that, he says he's very happy they've kept the battery the same so he can use previous batteries from his other cameras. You don't have to introduce a whole new battery into the setup. And he says stay tuned for more explorations. So again, I'll post his link below. You can check out his website. And I'm going to be following because I think I may be picking up one of these little gems. It's the Olympus E-PL2. Anyways, thanks for tuning in, folks. Stay tuned. We'll be back with some more news of what's going on in the world of photography for you. More reviews and more articles. Thanks again.